Hello everyone, Chapandi Chaputal Suledu Kadu guys. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today is 29th November 2025. Good morning to all of you. What was my name again? My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is a snapshot of my LinkedIn profile. Really good. I'm not on Facebook. I don't like to use Facebook. Facebook is deactivated, Instagram is deleted, so I'm not on these things, guys. You can also join this Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shub. I will share this into analysis PDF by 9:30 a.m. Very good. And what else, guys? Okay, just give me a second. So yesterday I gave you people this particular question related to enforcement directorate. We have discussed this thing at the end when we were talking about enforcement directorate, and they were looking into a case under PMLA. Good morning, Iltush. So what is the answer of this question, Iltush? If you remember what we have discussed yesterday in this question, MCQ 10, in fact I even told you the answer there, that ED looks into cases related to what is the issue with good morning Harshini, what is the issue with ED. So what is the answer of MCQ 10? Chepandi is fast. Solungi, Harshini, Solungi. You told me Solungi yesterday, right? Solungi means Chepandis. For those people who don't understand Tamil, Kadle, Kadle, Kudugudugudude. So Solungi. What is the answer for MCQ 10? Harshini and Nitush, they have given the answer A. 1 and 2. PMLA and FEMA. They look into those laws. ED looks into those laws, but it is basically a intimidation tool according to different political experts because the conviction rate is very low. Just that you don't question government for that, or you don't criticize government. If you criticize government, you will be, ED will raid you if you have money also, So A is the answer. And we'll talk more about it. Solunga says, Solunga, Cholunga. MCQ 11. The common thread in cumulation case, Vijay Emmanuel and Eric Liddell's story is what? What is the common thread in all of them? Solunga. 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 In Hindi, Solunga means I will sleep. Solunga mein. That means I will sleep. But you don't have to do Solunga, Harshini. You don't have to sleep. You have to study all the time, 28 hours a day. So what is the answer, guys? What is the common thread in cumulation case, Vijay Emmanuel and Eric Liddell's story? Challenge to executive authority, choose the best option, conflict between discipline and conscience, violation of tax laws, political mobilization. So Harshini, Iltush, they have given the answer. Annie has given, Annie is also, Annie was suffering from typhoid, guys. Annie is such a brave girl. And then she sent me 3 answers yesterday. She's a part of my lifetime success bundle. Oh my god. Why do I don't intend to promote this. I was just telling you. So hats off to Annie, and may she. So Annie, how are you right now? Are you awesome? Like, is typhoid totally cured, or are you still suffering from it? Let's focus, guys, and Annie will answer it. So the answer here is B. Conflict between discipline and conscience, as stated by Harshini, Iltush, Annie, and Rishi. Very good. What is the condition of any typhoid? Typhoid is such a, dreadful disease to have, man. Let's come back to the present and let's talk about the first article of the day, which is related to disaster response. Disaster management is explicitly mentioned in your GS3. Disaster management. So in Wayanad, landslide happened in 2024. Almost more than 300 people, they died. India GDP grew 8.1%. No, sir, still under medication. God bless you, Annie. 8% Trump dead economy. Yeah, we will talk about India's GDP 8% and the issue with that, Rishi. How it is a fudged data. Because everything under this regime is fudged. I'm not saying I believe Modi sir and his data totally. There we'll talk about nominal GDP and real GDP, and you will see what is the discrepancy there and what is the basic issue with that data, why people are not accepting that data. Because if everything is so hunky-dory, why is there is so much unemployment, why? And again, you will understand. Even if you go and buy vegetables, they talk about 0.5% inflation, but do you actually see 0.5% inflation, or there is some other issue? IMF has downgraded us. Yesterday we discussed, they gave us C grade in these data. So this data mechanics is flawed based on 2011-12. So we have discussed that. So don't just go by these data, Rishi. There are issues there. We'll talk about it. India's disaster response, a slippery slope for federalism. What, ma'am? Aswati, Rachel was in Friends. Varghese, ma'am is saying, she's an assistant professor. Tiruvananthapuram. So this ma'am, I know her. let's focus. So she is talking about how this whole thing, and again, this is an awesome article, guys. Why? This is an awesome article. Disaster management is explicitly in GS3, but federalism is there in GS2. So this question can be asked in both GS2 and GS3. What Aswati ma'am is trying to say is, this whole disaster response thing, how much fund a particular state will get from center, it is becoming more and more centralized in nature. You have two things. You have two funds, SDRF, NDRF. State Disaster Response Fund, NDRF, National Disaster Response Fund. NDRF, all money comes from center. SDRF, 75-25, 75% will come from center, 25% from states, and then in some Himalayan and northeastern state, it is 90-10. So Aswati ma'am is saying that, there are states like Kerala, there are states like Tamil Nadu. Disaster happened there. We will take some example to understand what ma'am is saying and what is the issue right now, and then we'll also solve a mains question. So this Wayanad landslide happened. Kerala demanded 2200 crore from center. Center approved 260 crore. 11% of the request. So this is not all. Let's try to see a pattern here, which is being mentioned in this editorial. Similar mismatch happened in Tamil Nadu when Cyclone Gaza happened in 2018. Karnataka floods when it happened in 2019. So, good morning, Matt King. So, what we were discussing here, I forgot. So, there is a trend which you are seeing. Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Assam, where there is ruling party government, they are getting larger packages. But when it comes to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, and their funds, Kerala is asking 2200 crore, Center is giving 260 crore. Center is saying use unutilized SDRF fund. There is some amount of money with you with SDRF, State Disaster Response Fund, use it. Kerala is saying that, sir, even though that amount is not used right now, that SDRF fund, because sometimes what happens, we get delay. If there is a delay in getting SDRF fund, it is already assigned for some other work. Please give us the money. We need it right now. Don't play this ruling opposition game. It in a way kills cooperative federalism, and this goes against the basic federalism concept. It promotes centralization, so to say. Let's try to understand this. Going beyond the political discretion of this article, let's try to understand this. So disaster response, again, very important article, guys, most important article from mains perspective. So India's intergovernmental disaster response financing is becoming increasingly centralized and conditional, according to my friend who has written this article, and she has given the example of Kerala and what happened in Kerala. Why Kerala government was, that means asking for 2200 crore. They said that 1200 crore loss has happened, sir, but we will do reconstruction, we will do recovery. So in that we need 2200 crore. Center approved 260 crore. It's not like it's even close to 2200 crore. What was center's response, as we have just discussed? Center is saying, and this is not the only issue, there are other issues also. Center is saying you have, in SDRF, State Disaster Response Fund, you have 780 crore. So use it. And we have also given you some loan. So use that to look into this Wayanad scenario. It's not like it's a uniform policy. It is varying from state to state. There is a pattern which we are seeing right now, which does not look good. This is not an isolated case, indicates a broader pattern of underfunding. So they have money for going to foreign visits and doing all those stuff, but they don't have money to give for disaster management. What is the disaster financing structure in India? SDRF, NDRF, and both are created under Disaster Management Act. NDRF functions under Ministry of Home Affairs. These are some factual information important from pre-perspective, which you have to keep in mind. They can ask you, SDRF and NDRF are constituted under this article or that article. So DMAC, Disaster Management Act 2005. In SDRF, center will give 75% money, state will give 25%. And there are exceptions for Northeastern and Himalayan state. In NDRF, all money will come from union, though designed to be balanced, but again, central control is more, central money is more, and state is dependent. This article says that, don't do that. Set some prerequisite criteria, guys. Please understand. We have to go beyond political connotation, guys. So this article is giving example what happens globally. Let's see this and then we'll come back to these points. So USA, Mexico, Philippines, Africa, Caribbean nations, what happened in these countries? So there is a prerequisite. Let's try to understand. Let's say rainfall happens beyond a certain range. Let's say rainfall 1000 millimeter. If it exceeds beyond this range, certain money will be pre-approved to you. Per-capita damage thresholds. Let's say 1000 people died. There has to be some prerequisite criteria. We will give you this much amount. Philippines, rainfall and fatality indices, automatic rainfall, wind triggers, as we have discussed. If the threshold, let's say rainfall happened or landslide happened, if it crosses the threshold, automatically this much amount will go to state. If these many people die, automatically this much amount will go to state. State should not beg to center, that should not happen. Satellite-based rapid insurance payouts. We have, we have different remote sensing satellite, use it. See the impact of disaster, and according accordingly approve fund. Again, center should not beg. This is not promoting cooperative federalism. We can learn from USA, Mexico, Philippines, Africa, and Caribbean countries. That's what this article is saying. Begging is not the way. This is not how cooperative federalism or even federalism works. Let's go back. So again, what are the other things which ma'am is saying here? Structural problems, compensation amount. If somebody dies, you give them 4 lakh rupees. If house damages happen, 1.2 lakh. Is this money enough in current day and age? It has not changed for a decade. You have to take into account inflation criteria, guys. It is insufficient amount. This is another problem. What is a severe disaster? Wayanad disaster, was it severe or not? Or if it happens in BJP ruled state, then only a particular disaster is a severe disaster. No clear definition. Anything can be severe. Aid releases are not automatic, as we have discussed. Set some prerequisite criteria. How many people are dying? How much rainfall is happening. If you set these prerequisite criteria, states does not have to beg. Multi-step approvals, delay in urgent situation, all these things are happening, not good. Now, this is a very interesting point. Weak Finance Commission criteria. Currently, 15th Finance Commission and its devolution pattern is going on. We have discussed about Finance Commission almost 100,000 million times, if I am not exaggerating it. So currently 15 Finance Commission recommendations are going on. 16th will give, and it will go from 26 to 31. And we have discussed these numbers because UPSC has asked questions on Finance Commission in both pre and mains. Chipandis, Solungi, Solunga. So 15th Finance Commission. And in 15th Finance Commission criteria, if you see it here, do you see any criteria related to hazard? Don't you think there should be a hazard criteria also? We are paying, criteria, population 2011 is there, area is there. Why we don't have a hazard criteria there? Let's say there are some coastal states, let's say Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they have these cyclones, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. These are impacted by hazard. Why there is not a hazard mapping here? Population, area, etc. is fine. So this is again a very awesome point raised by this editorial. So again, remember these facts and figures, guys. Like income distance, how much weight it has, because you have to use it in mains, and in pre they can directly ask you. And what is the current criteria and how it promotes north-south divide, and like population, if you're giving it too much weightage, Bimaru states, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, they comes into picture. So now again, there are so many other things. So weak Finance Commission criteria uses population and area, not actual hazard experience. Using these criteria, you say that northern states, they are poorer, so that's why we will give them more money. Why we don't have hazard? Let's put hazard. Let's give those states also which suffer from these disasters. Vulnerability measured via poverty, again, leads to misaligned allocation. Again, a very valid point. If you have read this article, you will talk about this point. Otherwise, many people will not talk about this point. Do talk about this point. In Finance Commission, there should be a hazard or disaster related criteria to take care of these coastal states and their vulnerability. Wayanad cases exposes system flaws. Again, center is saying that use unspent SDRF balance we have just discussed. These balances are already decided for some committed work. Plus, sometimes state disaster response fund arrives late. The main criteria is state should not beg. There should be prerequisite criteria as we are discussing here. Delay in classifying Wayanad as severe disaster, limited NDRF means assistance. And again, we have discussed what is a severe disaster. There is ambiguity. Maybe when the disaster happens in Himachal, Uttarakhand and Assam, which are BJP ruled state, then they are severe, otherwise they are not. If it happens in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. Or maybe they feel like in Kerala, they never get, like they are always around the 0 seat mark. Even if they do everything for Kerala, Kerala is never going to vote for religion-based politics, and that's why they don't give them money. Again, I'm not saying it. I too believe there is no religion-based politics in our country. So international best practices, we can learn from them. We can set certain prerequisite criteria, how much rainfall, how much, damage is happening, and remote sensing satellites, they can do their work. So these things we can do, and ideally government should do, because nobody is more proactive than our Honorable Modi sir. Recommendation for reform. 16th Finance Commission, about whom we are talking, ensure disaster assistance remains grant based and not loan based. When you are giving this money, don't expect states to pay you back. This should be a grant. It's not Kerala's fault, it's not Tamil Nadu's fault that these disasters happen. So it should be grant based. Give state more operational control over funds, set some prerequisite criteria, shifts union role to post audit. We should not, like state should not be dependent on union. Prior money will go. If rainfall, we have discussed what are the criteria. Rainfall exceeding a certain limit, damages happening, people dying certain numbers. So money will automatically go. It will not be like we need a prior approval from union. Money will go, and after that they can audit whether we have spent that money properly or not. Here we mean states we are talking about. Larger message, Disaster taste, now, oh my god, test not just physical resilience but institutional federalism. And again, you read these things. Funding should be rules-based partnership, not a negotiation, not a begging. India must rebuild a cooperative, equitable system before the next major disaster. Why not tragedy is a warning that federalism must fund. Now, what is your view, guys? Rishi, Mad King, Annie, Harshini, Iltush, and others, do you agree with what my best friend, let me see, I forgot her name, although we were best friend, Aswati is saying? Do you agree with what Aswati is saying? Or do you feel like, no, sir, Modi sir is never, and like, center is never impartial? They treat all 28 state, 8 union territories equally. Do you agree or disagree? Yes or no? Write it in the comment section. Whatever she has stated here. And I want your yes or no. We'll talk about this mains question. First of all, let me show you some other articles which was there. So see, some awesome things are going on in our country. I love it. Secularism. So when you read about, we'll talk about Samudrayan today in detail. So see, this thing happened here. PM Modi sir unveiled 77-foot tall statue of Lord Ram in Goa. In GS1, you read about secularism. And you read about, and there's a mains question also which was asked, that Indian secularism, principled distance we keep. We are not like strict separation of religion from, professional spheres and all those things which happens in Europe and French secularism. So in that regard, there can be a case study, or they can like, I don't know, maybe they will not ask Modi sir, but they can ask, head of a state unveiling statue of a particular religion. How much are we really secular, or are we just secular in name? Or this is fine. This should go on, and this is actually a great thing. Understood. Hey, hey, hey! Nobody said agree or not agree, guys. Did you people not understand English? Do you agree with what ma'am was saying in that article, or do you not agree with that? Yes, a preferential funding of state is against the spirit of federalism. Very good, Harshini. What is your view on this PM Modi sir unveiling 77-foot tall statue of Lord Ram in Goa? So will he unveil some Christian missionary thing? Will he go to mosque or do some other stuff? Is it good for our country? Does it look good in the outside world? Should we declare Hinduism as our state religion? Then there is another awesome article, guys. We're not talking about these things, Agree with her. Cool. So Nitish sir, he disperses 1,000 crore among women beneficiary. We have to make these leaders accountable. If you don't make these leaders accountable, if you don't ask questions from these guys, this 1,000 crore is that 10,000 rupees amount which was given to women just before election. How fair it was, how much was it according to MCC model code of conduct we have discussed, and now 1,000 crore has gone to these women people, and awesome. Employment will increase. Let's see how much employment happens in next 5 years in Bihar. 1,000 crore, some people say, went down the drain. And this is our money, this is taxpayers' money. Nobody is going to ask these people why they went, like how much. And again, there should be an accountability. We should see how much employment was generated via this Mukhyamantri Mahila Rojgar Yojana in Bihar, when they have dispersed not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 crore, 1,000 crore. Seriously, politics is a joke in our country these days. Let's solve some questions now. Let's come back to the real articles. Otherwise, your blood will boil when you see these articles. So, Wayanad landslides and similar disasters reveal a growing centralization in India's disaster financing system. Examine. So, let's say this is a mains question which is given to you. In this scenario, when you're seeing this question, obviously you will talk about what happened, why not landslide happened in 2024. Around 300 people died, official figures, unofficially more people died, and it was not classified as severe disaster, which shows growing centralization. Then you will give some example how state is dependent upon center, how NDRF funding works, SDRF funding works. They are taken, means considered as a loan rather as a grant, and all those stuff. How there is a discrepancy in ruling state and opposition states and all those stuff, and there is a centralization. What should be the way forward? How there should be a prerequisite criteria based on rainfall, how much disaster has impacted that particular state. There should be a tangible criteria. State should not be begging from center for these things. That is not the way how things should work in a federal setup. So Wayanad landslide, you can define disaster financing as SDRF and DRF under Disaster Management Act. What happened in Wayanad landslide? It can be anything. Intro can be one line also. And you can even define what is a landslide. So body 2-tier disaster funding, SDRF and DRF, we have discussed the structure. SDRF 75, 25, 90, 10 for some state, and DRF totally central funded, but these are treated as loan, not grant. Problems we have discussed. Center is giving around 10% of what Kerala is asking. Delayed, what is a severe disaster ambiguity? Outdated relief norms, 4 lakh for life lost, 1.2 lakh for house damage, not enough. Procedural delays, again, all these things are happening, promoting too much centralization, opaqueness as well. Implication, drift from cooperative federalism to centralized conditional model. You can read these things. And we have discussed what is happening in different countries, how they have some objective criteria which automatically triggers fund release. They are not begging to Modi ji, please give us money, Modi ji, we will die, what we will eat. In Hindi we call it kya khayenge, kya piyenge, kya leke pardesh jayenge. That means what we will eat, what we will drink, what we will take to pardesh. Pardesi, jana nahi. That means don't go to Pradesh, don't go to foreign country. Conclusion, India's disaster financing needs reform. Again, you can read all these things. Hope you understood the basic rationale, what this article is saying. My Aswathi ma'am has written this. Cooperative federalism should not remain just on paper, guys, Let's solve some questions. Which of the following are cited as challenges in India's? Now, these points, whatever points you will see in this answer, you can write it in your mains answer also. See, even pre-content can be used in mains answer, guys. These points, you can use it in your mains answer. Challenges in India's disaster financing system. Try to solve this question. Use option elimination. Che pandi jai. Mujhe chhod ke. That means, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Is it too late to say sorry? Guys, what are the challenges? Outdated compensation norms, lack of objective triggers, finance commission allocation criteria based on hazard risk, procedural delay due to sequential approvals. So finance commission does not have a criteria based on hazard risk. So this is not a challenge. If they have this criteria, that would be awesome. So third is wrong. If third is wrong, just eliminate third. You're left with A and D. You have to check second. Lack of objective triggers. We don't have any objective triggers. We are just based on, please classify it as a severe category, hazard, please central government, pretty please. Should I touch your leg now? So yes, answer is A, 1, 2 and 4 only, as stated by Harshini, Iltush and Annie. Pardesi. Guys, let's not sing songs, let's study. Which of the following could be considered objective? Now again, the answer, the content of this MCQ can also be used in your mains answer. Oh my god, these are such awesome questions, guys. So Harshini, Iltush, Annie and Rishi, they have given the answer. Who are good boys and girls? These people are. What can be considered objective triggers, like for automatic disaster fund release? As we have discussed, what is happening in USA, Mexico. Some people say, like Donald Trump will say, Mexico. So what can be the, again, choose option, use option elimination, you'll be able to answer it. So Harshini, Iltush, all of you have given the answer. So center subjective approval is what is leading to begging in our country right now. So it is not needed. It is not an objective trigger. It's subjective. The word sentence itself or the phrase itself is subjective. So how can it be objective? So fourth, you eliminate fourth. You will get A, 1, 2 and 3. Rainfall intensity, fatalities per million, loss to GSDP, gross state domestic product ratio. A is the answer as stated by Harshini and Iltush. Again, really good. National Disaster Response Fund is administered by which ministry, guys? Che Pandi. NDRF is administered by which ministry? Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of MOEFCC, Niti Aayog. Harshini is such a good girl. She's so fast, just like a wow. Ministry of Home Affairs, guys. NDRF is administered by Ministry of Home Affairs. It has been asked 1,000 trillion times in different other exams, maybe more. This question 1,000 trillion times, different exams. How many times? 1,000 trillion times. Very good. So Harshini, Iltush, Annie, all of you have given the answer. Next question, next article. Page number 10, GS3, Samudriyan. As we were discussing, let's see that image. So awesome things happen in our country now. So let's go to page number 10. So PM Modi is a 77-foot tall statue of Lord Ram. Really good. This is the article. Delays in getting syntactic foam hit Samudrayan. So Samudrayan, see this Matsya 6000. This is a prototype, guys. Our 3 people will be going on a manned submersible mission. They'll be going 6,000 meters into the ocean. Why? Because if you go deep down the ocean, you will find minerals, polymetallic nodules rather, which are very precious. They can be used to make so many different things, so many different electronic equipments, this and that. We are dependent on China for these polymetallic nodules and all those stuff. Oh my God, what am I saying? We are dependent on China for polymetallic nodules and all these stuff. We want to reduce our dependency on China because dependency on anyone is bad. You know, you should not be dependent on anyone in a relationship. You should be self-dependent. Okay. So, manned submersible mission, Samudrayaan, and Mach 6000 will take us, take 3 people, 6,000 meter below the ocean. Now, this project has got delayed. And now Modi sir will be very unhappy. And that's why maybe he has gone to Goa, you know, to do Paschatap here. Because he does not like delay in projects. Bullet train is already ready. All the cities in our country has become smart city. So maybe he will take a pay cut now. Somebody has to be accountable for these delays, right? Samudrayaan, which is an organization which is dealing into it. You may feel like ISRO will be dealing into it. No, NIOT is responsible here. So these are some keywords. Choti choti magar moti baatein. NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology. So NIOT, it works under Ministry of Earth Science, guys. Established in 1990s, headquarters is in Chennai. Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Let me show you NIOT site and then we'll come back and we'll discuss this. So this is NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology. This is leading Samudrayaan. So please understand this. They will give you, they have already given it in multiple exams. ISRO is leading. No, NIOT is leading and it lies under Ministry of Earth Science. Really good. Really, really, really good. Let's go back to the article now. So delay has happened. Why delay has happened? Because of synthetic foam. What is the synthetic foam? Synthetic foam will increase buoyancy of this Matsya 6000. Buoyancy means when you people will, you know, become 15 plus, you will read physics, etc. Floating capability. So floating capability means if I am more buoyant, if you know, put me deep inside the ocean, I will float somewhat up above. So increased buoyancy is needed for Matsya 6000 under Samudrayaan. And we need this foam, which is being made in France. We don't have that capability yet. And there is a delay there. And Modi sir is not very happy. And that's why he has gone to Goa. So, yeah. Let's focus. So Samudrayaan is India's first manned submersible mission designed to dive up to 6,000 meters. And we know why. This whole thing, basically, this is, you know, this was planned around 2018, work started around 2021, and now there is a delay. There was a prototype, there was some, like we wanted to test it first, and it was this whole trial drive was planned for December 2024, but it has delayed now. Expected mid 2025, and we are very unhappy because we don't do delay. Under this government, there has been no project which has been delayed. So mission will carry, they can ask you how many members? 3 crew members who will collect, oh my God, who will collect soil and rock samples. And we know, and what is the utility of this project? We need nodules, we need minerals, and those minerals are there. We have exclusive economic zone, guys. Our EEZ, there is so much things, so much minerals which are untapped. We have to tap it. In that regard, this submersible mission will go along with understanding how, you know, we can go deep down and we can extract these resources. Cool. So synthetic foam, it provides buoyancy and allows the submersible to float. And there is a delay here. It is developed in France. Then France, oh my God, it will be tested in Norway, and after that it will come to India. So let's see when this comes. And then they have talked about right now this whole thing again. This is not important. I have told you the important things which you need to know based on this Samudrayaan thing. Let's solve some question. What is the primary role of synthetic foam in Samudrayaan submersible? Synthetic foam protect the crew from high pressure gases, provide buoyancy and allow the submersible to float. You have to choose the best option. Serve as the main hull material, enhance speed during underwater navigation. Harshini has given the answer. What is the answer? B. Provide buoyancy and allow the submersible to float. Very good. That is the primary role of synthetic foam. Very, very, very good. So Harshini and Iltush, they have given the answer. Who are good girls? These two are. Cool. And Harshini, Iltush, Annie, all three. Annie is also very good. Annie is suffering from typhoid. Pray for her, guys. She's such a awesome girl. So consider the following statement about NIOT. We have just discussed NIOT. Now, whatever we have discussed, based on that, try to solve this question. Do remember, means Samudrayaan, NIOT is responsible for that, not ISRO. So comes under Ministry of Earth Science. Oh my God, Harshini is like on fire. Fire. It comes under Ministry of Earth Science, yes. Responsible for not Mangalyaan, Samudrayaan, Mangalyaan. Samudaya. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, you eliminate. Second, you eliminate blah blah blah. So you'll be eliminating A, B, and C. You'll be left with D1, 3, and 4. Headquartered in Chennai. Have you people seen, like Harshini? Any all of you people are from Tamil Nadu? Have you ever seen NIOT headquarter? You're like, sir, do we have such free time that we'll go and search for all these headquarters? But have you ever seen it in Chennai? Anybody? So Harshini, Iltush, and any, I ask anything and everything. So yes, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. You can join these courses, individual courses or bundle in bundle. You don't have to pay for any hourly, monthly, or annual subscriptions ever. Plus, whatever future courses are included under this bundle, you will get an access to it without paying any additional fee. So again, the prices of individual courses as well as bundle will increase. You can see all these courses. If you have any query, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650303257. You can also donate if you feel like I am contributing to your knowledge in any particular way. So this is the article. Yes, sir, I had the opportunity to intern there. Wow, Harshini, very good. Any has not gone there, no issues. So page number 1, GS3, Indian economy. As this Rishi was saying, India is posting 8.2% quarter 2 GDP growth, top 6 quarters, and he was like, India is like, अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं. It's not like good days are coming. Good days had indeed come in our country, and we are the best country in the world. Swarnim Kal and all those stuff. So now, what is the issue with this numbers? 8.2% quarter 2 GDP growth. What is the problem here? Real GDP and nominal GDP. What is the discrepancy which we are seeing in that? We will talk about. This is so funny. Even the data, if you are doing the fudging thing, the fudging has to be done in such a way that nobody can track it. So the fudging has also been okay. We'll talk about that fudging thing and how this data. Many people are not believing this data. What is the problem here? So before we do that, we always do one thing. Whenever we read about GDP, etc., we revise certain stuff, right? What is GDP, NDP, GNP, NNP? So GDP, total value of all goods and services produced within the country, right? And then you have NDP, GDP minus depreciation. Then you have GNP, gross national product. So that is GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad. And then you have NNP, which is GNP minus depreciation. You people, I believe you already know these stuff. Now let's focus on what this article is saying and why this data looks very fudged, very doubtful. One thing, it is coming one day after IMF has given C status to India's, how India is calculating their GDP, GV, and CPI, etc. Because our base year is 2011-12, and the world has changed since 2011-12. It like you cannot compare stuff from 2011-12. It's before even when India got independence in 2014. It's before that data, right? So it doesn't make any sense. Now you will be like, sir, oh my God, do you not know this? India got independence in 1947. No, you people don't know this. India got independence in 2014. So at least the data should be after 2014. It should not be 2011-12. So let's focus. Let's focus on the issues with this article. India's GDP grew 8.2%. In quarter 2, highest blah blah blah. PM sir is very happy about it, and he's like, "Achhe din aa gaye." And this is the Swarnim Yug. Economists are raising concerns. They're like, real GDP. Now let's try to understand. Real GDP growth is high. Real GDP 8.2%. It is growing at 8.2%. And we have discussed real GDP and nominal GDP earlier also. Nominal GDP 8.7%. What is the difference between real GDP and nominal GDP? GDP is value of goods and means services produced within the territory of your country. So let's say there are 10 goods, the price is 10. Goods are 10, the price is 10. So this is 100. So this is year 1, right? In year 2, let's say the price is 15 and the goods are 15 and the price is, or let's say the goods are 10 but the price is 15. This is 150. So this is your nominal GDP. So nominal GDP, please understand these terms, guys. Many of you already do. So in year 1, the goods produced was 10, the price was 10, the total value of your GDP was 100 rupees. In year 2, let's say your goods are still stagnant 10, but the price has increased to 150. 150 is your nominal GDP. On the other hand, if you take year 2 only, in year 2, your real GDP will be 100 only. Because real GDP is adjusted for inflation. It is more concerned with the increase in goods and services. So now why this data look fudged? Because real GDP, they are saying it is growing at 8.2%. Nominal GDP is growing by 8.7%. So in a way, this difference is inflation. 0.5% inflation we have. And the people are saying that based on, if you go even outside and you buy stuff, you will realize the prices are increasing. I asked my vegetable vendor, tomato price is increased to 100 rupees and government is saying there is only 0.5% inflation. There's this one concern. There are other concerns also you have to understand. So one thing is this daily life 0.5% implied inflation, it looks very fudged. It's no longer reflects the reality. We have also discussed why this could be the figure because of the maybe the previous year the inflation was higher. There's a base rate concept also. I will not discuss these things. We have already discussed these terms, but we are trying to understand why this data look first according to economists. First thing first, we have discussed real GDP 8.2, nominal 8.7, only 0.5% inflation. So 0.5% inflation, that looks very surprising and very concerning. It cannot be based on what we are seeing in our surroundings. Second scenario, Phillips curve. We have talked about Phillips curve. Inflation and unemployment, they have an inverse relationship. When inflation rises, unemployment decreases because people or companies have more incentive to produce goods. Ambani and Adani, they will produce more goods, so the prices of goods and services are rising. So why will real GDP increase this much if the inflation is so less? How come companies are incentivized to produce more when the inflation is so less? What happens when the prices rise? Then we are incentivized to produce more. How come they are producing so much that real GDP is growing at 8.2% even though there is very minimal inflation, almost 0% inflation? That cannot happen, guys. Please understand, think from your mind. If you are a producer, if inflation is not increasing at all, almost hovering around 0%, do you have an incentive to increase production? If you don't have incentive to increase production, how will real GDP increase that much? So there is no correlation between data at all. And that's why people are skeptic. Like, what is happening here? No revival in private investment. We are not seeing any increase in private investment, but they are saying real GDP is growing at 8.2%. How can real GDP grow at that much amount when the prices of goods are not increasing? If the prices of goods are not increasing, I will have less intensive incentive to produce goods. So there is so much discrepancy. It looks so fudged. And IMF has also said that how India is calculating things, it is lying in the C grade. We have discussed it yesterday. But government is like, no, we are like doing awesome and Achhe Din has already come. Good days have indeed come. So hope you can understand what is the problem here, how it is going against the normal law of economics. 0.5% inflation, although the reality says something else. Then real GDP growing so much, even though there is so minimal inflation. There's no incentive, literally no incentive for private investors to, produce more goods. So hope you're understanding why there is question, why even IMF is questioning how India is calculating their data, and why even economists are concerned. Even if you understood 40-50% of what I just said, you will look into it more. So again, an awesome article. Hope also Rishi got his answer why people are not taking this data on face value and why we should not. If you're educated, you should question. That is our work. We should question government. We should not question opposition. They are in opposition for a reason. Question government. How come real GDP and nominal GDP 8.2 and 8.7%, only 0.5% inflation, even though real GDP is growing at such a high rate? Anything, kuch bhi, like kuch bhi. That means anything and everything. Let's focus, guys. Our country is running Ram Bharose. Ram Bharose means I'm not saying it. I too believe Modi sir is the best PM in this whole universe. Let's focus on MCQ 6. When I read this particular article, I was laughing seriously. So SDRF and NDRF are constituted under. Solve this question, guys. So Iltush and Harshini, they have given Iltush, Harshini, any. Did you people understand even little bit what this article was all about? Why this real GDP, nominal GDP thing does not, it doesn't look very real. And did you people understand what we were just discussing in the previous article? So 6 is A. Very interesting article, guys. You have to delineate that article from different economic perspective. Which of the following statement is correct? And that's why you should read newspaper continuously. That's what happens, you start correlating stuff. And that's what also happens when you follow Hindu analysis, not only from anybody. If you follow it and if you're following it every day, you start seeing a trend. What was happening yesterday, what happened 1 month earlier, and how everything is getting connected, and how somebody is making a fool of us. Yes, sir, it's logically contradicting the economic principle. Exactly. So, what is the correct answer, guys, in MCQ 7? Nominal GDP measures output at base year price. People are producing more and more goods. There is no inflation, no increase in price, but still they're keeping continuously producing goods because if Modi sir has said them, produce. I will give you from my pocket. So, nominal GDP measures output at base year price. Real GDP includes price change due to inflation. Nominal GDP includes current prices. Real GDP removes inflation. We are so much impressed with numbers but unaware about the ground reality. Exactly. So Harshini has given the answer. Nominal GDP includes current prices. Real GDP removes inflation. As we have discussed, it is more concerned with the numbers of like the quantity of goods and services which is getting produced. So Harshini and Annie, they have given the answer. Very good, very good. Don't take any data at face value, guys. Always question your government. Otherwise, government will make a fool out of you. GDP. What is the meaning of GDP, guys? So Harshini, Annie, Iltush, they have given the answer. Very good. GDP refers to total value of all goods and services produced by nationals of a country anywhere in the world. Total value of all goods and services produced within a country's border. GDP minus depreciation. Wow. GDP is GDP minus depreciation. Anything. So GNP minus depreciation. So again, GDP refers to total value of all goods and services produced within a country's border. We have discussed GDP, NDP, GNP, NNP. These are the things which are important. Government will make a fool out of us. That is a constant thing. So GDP minus depreciation, that is NDP. GNP is GDP plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad, and NNP is GNP minus depreciation. So these facts you have to keep in mind. The rest all making a fool out of us, that's a different thing. So B is the answer, MCQ 8. Next article, very important. In page number 8, GS to GS3, India launches Operation Sagar Bandhu to provide relief supplies to Sri Lanka. Why GS to international relation? India, Sri Lanka, they're coming closer, 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 slowly, slowly. And then Operation Sagar Bandhu. Why is Operation Sagar Bandhu? Because a cyclone has happened. What particular cyclone, guys? Which has ravaged Sri Lanka, so to say. And in that regard, we are providing them help via this Operation Sagar Bandhu. So a direct pre-question can be asked, what is Operation Sagar Bandhu? What is the basic purpose of Sagar Bandhu? To provide help to Sri Lanka when they are suffering from Cyclone Ditwa. What was Ditwa? So Operation Sagar Bandhu. And how the help is being provided? Now these points. INS Vikrant, India's indigenous aircraft carrier. Can anybody tell me how many aircraft carrier India has currently? How many aircraft carrier India has? INS Udaygiri and INS Tamal, when you people were very small, almost 3-4 years old, at that time we have done a comparative analysis of INS Udaygiri and INS Tamal. These are still frigate. They're basically warships, you know, some with very less amount of detectability. INS Udaygiri, INS Tamal. INS Udaygiri is completely made in India, promoting Modi sir's Atmanirbhar Bharat concept. INS Tamal, Russia has helped us in that regard. INS Tamal, INS Udaygiri and INS Tamal we have discussed in previous Hindu analysis, guys. Revise it. INS Vikrant, first indigenous aircraft carrier. How many aircraft carrier we have? We have 2 aircraft carrier currently. INS Vikramaditya, and these are the facts which are important, guys, which makes it important from paper 3 perspective, security defense. INS Vikramaditya was made with the help of Russia, if I'm not wrong. It was not indigenous, but INS Vikrant is indigenous. We are also making third aircraft carrier, I think INS Vishal. So remember this, currently we have 2 aircraft carrier in INS Vikrant, and they were already there in Sri Lanka. They were doing certain stuff and they will be helping. And this is part of India's Mahasagar vision. Earlier there was Sagar vision, security and growth for all in the region. Now Modi sir has said Mahasagar. So they can ask you, just like sometimes they ask you, what is the full form of Niti Ayog? It is not National Institute for Transforming India. It is National Institution for Transforming India. They can ask you, what does Mahasagar stands for? Mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions, announced by Modi sir during his. When did Modi sir went to Mauritius? He was in Goa right now. He went to in March. Okay, Modi sir never like. There's some people who never stand still. They are just moving here and there. I'm that guy. Modi sir is also. He's never standing still inside his country. Goa, Mauritius. Oh, Goa is like inside, but Mauritius. Again, let's focus. So Mahasagar. Just remember the full form. What is Mahasagar? They can ask you directly. INS Vikrant. What is INS Vikrant? UPSC has asked questions on INS Astradharini. So solve that UPSC PYQ on INS Astradharini. So that's why these INSs are important. INS Vikrant, INS Udaygiri. You can see Two, sir. Very Iltush is such a good girl. So they can ask you, what is INS Vikrant? What is INS Udayagiri? What is INS Tamal? What is INS Vikramaditya? So you have to keep it in mind. You see from this single slide how many questions can be framed by UPSC and other exams. UPSC has already asked Astradharini. Okay, let's focus. So Mahasagar, very good. Let's solve some question, guys. That's it. This is just a pre-related article. So MCQ 9. What is the answer of this question based on the previous thing which we have discussed? Slowly, slowly. Chipandis, chipandis, chepu, el suledu. Why can't I be serious? Net national product is what, guys? These are tricky terms. You should know these terms. And GNP minus depreciation, GDP minus depreciation, GDP plus net factor for income from abroad, GNP plus net factor income from abroad. What is NNP, guys? Iltush has given the answer. NNP is GNP minus depreciation. Before Iltush, Harshini has given the answer. Very good. You people are so good. MCQ 10. The vision Mahasagar mentioned by PM Modi sir stands for what? What is Mahasagar, guys? Sagar. We are not only confined to Sagar now. We are becoming Mahasagar. Slowly, 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 slowly. I love Modi sir so much. I have more love for Modi sir than that Italian PM Meloni has for Modi sir. Melody. Vision Mahasagar. What is Mahasagar, guys? Iltush has given the answer. Mutual and holistic advancement for secure. Why they make such big things? Now UPSC people, other exam, guys, people who are giving government exam, they're like, Sagar was itself very tough. Now Mahasagar. It was like every day Modi sir increases the work of all the aspirants. Mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across region. Very good. Who stated it? Any stated it? Iltush stated it. Harshini, it is not a. I know why Mahasagar, and we are talking about all these cyclones, so you can think like maritime. We just discussed it. Are you a fan of Gajni? Are you fan of Surya? तू मेरी अधूरी प्यास प्यास तू होगी बनकी blah blah blah. So Mahasagar, mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across region, guys, not maritime. I can understand why Harshini was confused because we are talking about cyclones, we are talking about all these aircraft carrier, army, like navy is involved, so she got confused. Really good, Harshini. Really, really, really good. B. Next article, page number 12, GS2. Russia adds Human Rights Watch to list of undesirable. So I think in previous Hindu analysis, 2-3 days back, we talked about Amnesty International, and it is a human rights organization headquartered in UK or something. So Human Rights Watch, it is again a human rights organization headquartered in New York, US. Russia is not liking it, and Russia is saying that anybody who will be funding Human Rights Watch in Russia, they will be prosecuted. That is the basic meaning of adding Human Rights Watch to list of undesirable organization. When we have discussed about Amnesty International and what they were talking about in Sudan, if you are not wrong, we have solved one PYQ on Amnesty International. We have solved a PYQ on Sudan, right? The paramilitary forces fighting against the army, and what lesson we can learn from Sudan, all those stuff. Similarly, Human Rights Watch, and Amnesty International, they have asked you what it was. Was it an NGO, this and that? So do remember, it's an NGO working for humanitarian things, like humanitarian perspective. Israel has effectively banned. What is the meaning of undesirable here? Any individual who collaborates or donate can face prosecution. Now there is a word called rights here. When I just, I have a book PDF which contains all the previous PYQs asked by UPSC. When I, typed rights, I got a one, like so many questions, but I did not have time to include all PYQs. We'll come to this assertion. Let's solve this PYQ first. What do you understand by rights and duties, guys? Yes, sir. Too many oceanic news today. Yes, Harshini. Very good. Slowly, 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 slowly. So let's see this rights, Human Rights Watch, PYQ 12. Like we'll see the previous question just few moments. What is the answer of this question? You have fundamental rights, you have fundamental duties. What is the basic rationale when it comes to India? What is the relationship between rights and duties? Like Modi sir, what do you think he believes in? He believes in we have rights, or he believes that we should only be focused on doing our duties. Right does not matter. But again, it's not about Modi sir, it's about India as a whole. Although Modi is India, India is Modi, as somebody said. So yeah. So Hashini has given the answer. Rights and duties. There is, there is a rule of jurisprudence, which you will read later on in polity. Rule of jurisprudence. What rule of jurisprudence says? Where there is a, right, there must be a corresponding duty. That is rule of jurisprudence, and that's why fundamental rights was introduced in our constitution. Fundamental duties was, oh my God, were introduced in our constitution. Which amendment brought fundamental duties in our constitution, guys? If you know it, post it in the comment section. So rights are correlated with duties. Rights are personal, independent of societies and duties. You choose the best option. You will realize that the best option here is A. Rights are correlated with duties. Yes, we have fundamental rights. We have a right to freedom of speech and expression. I don't know how much and up until which point time we have it, but still right now we have it. So we have fundamental rights, but we also have certain duties, respect and abide by ideals of constitution, this and that. So you have Article 51A, and it talks about fundamental duties. But which particular amendment brought fundamental duties? Harshini is stating 42nd constitutional amendment. So remember these facts. And which particular committee, on the recommendation of which particular committee, fundamental duty was introduced, guys? Chipandis in the comment section. So PYQ 12 answer is A. Very good. As stated by Harshini, Iltush and Annie. These are very good girls. MCQ 11. Let's solve this question. NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology, which we have discussed. Samudriyan. So assertion and reason. Let's try to solve this question also. Cool, Harshini. Swaran Singh Committee. Iltush is such a good girl, yeah. Swaran Singh Committee. Based on its recommendation, FD was introduced. Now, do tell me in the comment section, FD. Santhanam Committee is associated with what? Swaran Singh Committee, awesome. Santhanam Committee is associated with what? Again, if you know it, post it in the comment section. But first of all, let's try to solve this assertion reason. MCQ 11 of the day. Slowly. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Harshini has already given the answer. See, so NIOT is an autonomous body under Ministry of Defense. It is not under Ministry of Defense. It is under Ministry of Earth Science, right? We have just seen their website. Chepandi. National Institute of Ocean Technology, Samudriyan, Ministry of Earth Science. It is, right? Really good. So R is false. A is true, R is false. So the answer here is Chepandis. No, answer is not Chepandi. Answer is C. A is true, R is false. UPSC these days they don't ask assertion reason, but there was a time when they used to ask a lot of assertion reason, guys. And UPSC is known to go back to their previous things. They keep on changing stuff. So practice assertion reason. You should not just do away with assertion reason. Don't do that. Federalism, sir. Which aspect of federalism, Harshini? Center-state relation. Cool. Do research about Santhanam Committee. Important. So C is the answer of 11. You people are very good here. I'm so impressed by you people. PYQ 12. MCQ 13. Operation Sagar Bandhu. Recently, news was launched by India to do what? So this is a homework for you people. We will discuss it. Oh my God, I have a chutti tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. Yay! So we'll meet at Monday, 8 a.m. and we will discuss this MCQ 13. This is a homework. If you know the answer, you can post it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. I will share this Hindu analysis PDF in this Telegram channel by 9:30 a.m. So you can join this Telegram channel. Really good. And you can post your score. How many days are left? 2 days. Day after tomorrow, yes, the prices of lifetime success bundle and individual courses will increase, guys. So if you want to enroll in any of them, you can enroll. If you have any queries, you can send me a WhatsApp message. And I have uploaded shorts related to NCRT series, mains answer evaluation, even mentorship program. So you can go there, you can have a look at these shorts, you will understand what these things are all about. Even then, if you have queries, send me a WhatsApp message. And you are your own competition. You are not competing with anybody else. Read a book, Courage to be Disliked. I strongly recommend this book, although I'm not paid by those people to recommend that book. I love this book. I'm reading it currently. It's a life-changing book, guys. Courage to be Disliked. Awesome book. Just awesome. So yes, so you are your own competition. You are nobody else's competition. You can also donate if I'm contributing to your knowledge in any way. So that's it from me. Thank you, Harshini. Thank you, Ritush. Thank you.